So, P30 and Samsung S21 FE have a similar camera setup. So they both have 3 cameras on the back. The main sensor is 12 megapixels on Samsung and 40 megapixels on Huawei, but output is 10 megapixels. Zoom camera is almost identical, so it's 8 megapixels with around 3x optical zoom and f2.4, and the ultra wide is 12 megapixels on Samsung, 16 megapixels on Huawei, and supports autofocus. Huawei and Samsung doesn't. So I took a few shots from both of this phone and let's look at them. Okay, so I didn't take too many shots, but I took just enough to see if there are some major differences and to give you opinion about these cameras. As always, you have numbers and letters. P is for P series and S is for S series, so Huawei, Samsung. Let's take a look at few photos. Okay, so you can see that Samsung goes for a bit brighter photo, more grayish, but as for the IQ, yeah, it's pretty much similar. Even dynamic range seems similar. Maybe a bit more preserved shadows on Samsung. Yeah, a bit more details on Samsung, but only when you really zoom in. I kinda expected Samsung to take this one. I mean, it has better processor, so it should have better image processing. Let's go further. Okay, this is, I believe, ultrawide. Yeah. So Samsung is a bit wider, and that, in my opinion, is a good thing when you're shooting with ultrawide camera. Yeah, when you zoom in a bit to have the same level of zoom, you can see that Huawei does have better details, but it's not as wide as this from Samsung. You can see how much more you can get here and here space on Samsung. So I like this aspect. Ultra wide camera, it's wider, but I don't like another aspect that I will tell you about a bit later. Okay, this is 3x zoom. Well, I don't know what to tell you. They seem pretty similar to me. Maybe Huawei does have bit better details, but everything else is kind of the same. Maybe bit better dynamic range in highlights on Huawei, but somewhat better detail preservation in shadows with Samsung. So there are kind of trading punches here. Okay, let's go to the second scenario. Okay, this is ultra-wide. You can see f2.2 on both of them. And Samsung is much wider. But Huawei does have better details. Yeah, look at this car here, for example. Yeah, much better details on Huawei's ultra-wide. Let's go to 1x. 1x, pretty similar actually. Not much, if any, difference. Let me see highlights. Yeah, maybe less noise on Huawei, but pretty much the same. Okay, let's see 3x. Okay, 3x, a bit more sharper on Samsung, but more noisier also. Let's see here, details. Yeah, a bit more. This one is better on Samsung. You see how it's more kind of contrasty. I don't know if it was maybe smudge on Huawei or something, but yeah. This one goes to Samsung. And let's see, 10x. Well, 10x is somewhat better on Huawei because this one is kind of totally trashed, all details and everything, and kind of distorted highlights here. But yeah, I mean they're both kind of useless in low light, 10x, but Huawei does a bit of better job. When you look at it far, you'd say Samsung has more contrast and stuff like that, and it does, but for pure details, and you can add contrast later in post-production, you get better details on Huawei. Okay, this one was very interesting for me because okay, the sky is not this color. The Samsung's kind of went very strong with HDR here, and I hate it because none of the colors are actually like this. So yeah. Okay, this is 3x night mode. Okay, this was interesting for me because both phones support night mode on 3x camera, and you get pretty decent results. But as you can see, Huawei does have kind of better details. It kind of just preserves them a bit better on 3x camera. Yeah, look at the details on the wall and stuff like that. Yeah, for me, for this kind of night modes and stuff like that, nothing compares with Huawei yet. Look at let's say for lights here. Look how blown out they are on Samsung. So yeah, one thing I don't like about Samsung ultra-wide camera is an ability to focus. It doesn't have autofocus, so you can get some very nice close-up shots like this on Huawei. Yeah, look at this. So, what's my kind of final opinion? Well, these are both decent cameras, but for me, upgrading just because of a camera from P30 to S21 FE is nonsense, because on most photos you get better shots with P30, and when you're using night mode on 3x camera or main camera, you'll always get better shots with P30. The video is basically the same quality, bit better noise control with Samsung, and Samsung does support 4K 60 FPS, but only on main camera. You cannot shoot it on other cameras, and they both shoot 4K 30 FPS. And Samsung does have better lens switching in video, but for image quality I'd go with Huawei, especially because it has a fun factor that it supports Pro mode in all three lenses. Samsung doesn't support it on 3x, so that's kinda bad for me. And you have other cool modes like long exposition, light painting, silky water, stuff like that that I like to use. So yeah, for me P30 better phone for camera lovers, but if you are buying a new phone, buy S21 FE because 120 Hz Super AMOLED, Snapdragon CPU, longer software support and stuff like that. Thank you for staying this long. See you in the next video.